How's it, everyone? Welcome back. This is the Mac Coast to Coast Show. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you know when we go live. Here's your host, Brian McLamara.
Hey everybody, this is the Mac Coast to Coast Show with your host with the most, B-Max, and I'm here with the fabulous Tower of Macs, the Mac daddies of all time. We got Razzle.
The greatest Mac of all time.
And T-Mac.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. We got a good one for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in.
This is going to be a great show. We got a fantastic guest. We got Doug Monda. And before we get into all that, let's go ahead and get a word from our fabulous sponsors.
Brotherhood 808, where your friends are your chosen family. And are you ready to brand your business so you can keep the lights on? Then you better give the guys at Brand Ready Media a call. They can help you out.
So we got a great guest today. We're going to go ahead and introduce our guest. Today's guest is Doug Monda from Survive First. How you doing today, Doug?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, man. I'm honored.
What's going on, Doug? Long time.
Yeah, brother, what's happening?
Good to see your face, brother.
I can't wipe the smile off my face, man. You know, I've been so cooped up in my own little world over here. I don't really get to mix and mingle with, all my old friends, and especially with you guys. We're like family for, since we were kids. So I'm super excited, and just to be looking at y'all's faces, man. It's pretty cool how technology can connect us.
Really, I agree.
Funny, I was driving back from the cabin today and, knew you were going to be on our show. So I'm like, thinking back when you came over one day with your old white truck and you're like, yeah, man, I live over by the Canaveral Pier. And me and Marty were like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And you're like, hey, man, why don't you guys just come on over? And we're like, all right, man, let's load the truck. We just jumped in there. We had one truck full of stuff and, surfboards on top. But we were headed there, bro. We had some good times over there.
That's just how it happened, man. That's just how it went down. I pulled up and we left, man. And that's how it all started. Wasn't that cool?
3 guys in a 1-bedroom and a dog.
And I remember that guy that lived in that building, Skeeter. You remember Skeeter?
Skeeter, man. Every time I hear it, he's still, like I've told you before, he's still here, man. He still looks exactly the same, and he's still doing the same thing, got the same hairdo, and I just laugh every time I see him.
He looked like Dee Snider with the snaggletooth and everything, man.
Yeah, still looks like Dee Snider.
Taking acid
all those
and delivering.
guys. I see all those guys. Sooner or later, I run into somebody,
He's taking acid and delivering pizzas on his bike, I think, wasn't he?
He had a
Or
motorcycle, man.
Scooter or a motorcycle. He'd show up and, have a couple beers, and then he'd be on his way. Like, all right, well, good luck delivering that pizza.
Yeah. He was a pier surfer. He was a Cocoa Beach pier surfer. Remember, he used to rip with his hairpiece and shit.
Yeah, he's like,
Probably all fell out on top now.
It's like 4 foot overhead, man. It was awesome. Full on surfer, dude.
Yeah, so Doug, I just wanted to hear a little bit about your foundation that you got going on, a little bit about yourself, so the listeners can know a little bit about you.
Well, so I'm now a retired law enforcement officer, and I was actually an agent, and I'm the founder and president of the Survive First Foundation, and we put that foundation, we built it to provide resources to first responders and their families for trauma-related issues. Most stuff is formed by trauma, alcohol addiction, even, believe it or not, narcotics, stuff like that, and just mental health. It's an epidemic, so to speak, in that industry, in the first responder industry. So that's what we do at Survive First, and that's what I'm generally doing most days.
Wow, sounds great, man. I'm proud of you for putting it together, man, and what you've accomplished in your life growing up with you and shit, man. I'm stoked, and I think it's a great cause that you got going on there, and stoked for you.
Yeah, I work in the mental health field at the hospital. So
really?
I totally know what you're saying, man. I mean, I see a lot of PTSD and,
Yeah.
not only from police officers, but, guys that were in the service and whatever. So what you're doing is awesome, man.
Thank
Um,
you. Man.
a lot of those people could use a lot of times just me talking to them, I feel like maybe I did help them, because they were just in a bad place. And, it feels good. I mean, it fills your heart with satisfaction, when you feel like you actually might have made a difference.
Well, I assure you, you did. By just talking to them, I mean, I've had 22 operations, man. So I've spent a lot of time in the hospital, and I enjoyed every conversation that I had with the medical staff. It's just anymore with the way the climate is in our nation, man. When somebody shows that they care about you, it's a big deal. And you might not realize it, and being in your industry, Raz, it's a thankless job sometimes. You're saving people's lives, and they don't really get the opportunity to properly thank you. But I assure you, your hard work doesn't go unnoticed for sure.
Yeah, they called me the crazy whisperer at work because I don't know. I tend to calm people down. I just kind of, because I've, like we said, we grew up, we were partiers. I know a lot of the places these guys are. I've been there. I partied,
Yeah.
and sometimes I just tell them, say, hey, man, it's not the end of the world. You just got to, you're getting older. You got to kind of change and do something different, and try to get happiness out of something other than comes in a bottle or, that's something you buy on the streets.
Yeah, and Doug, I never really realized that you went through all this depression and suicidal thoughts, and I'd like to hear about it, man. Like what in that time in your life, what it was like.
It was pretty rough, obviously. So for those who don't know, so I am a survivor of suicide. I actually put a gun to my head and pulled the trigger. Not a lot of people know that. It was college for a while. It's just not one of the things you break out. But once I recovered and came back to work, which I did, I went back to work as my role as an agent, and I was also the leader of the SWAT team at that time. And when I went back to work, I realized that I wasn't the only one struggling. Now, my career is a little bit different. I'm not the typical, I didn't write tickets. I didn't get cats out of trees and do that type of police work. So if I wasn't doing narcotic stuff, I was also a sniper for 20 years. So, I was being a sniper, I wasn't handing out cupcakes, I was handing out something totally different. And usually, what took place was a dark world that I lived in, which was very unlike me. So you guys remember, you know me as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And I was that guy when I became a cop. I was that guy. I'm still that guy.
Right.
I'm still the same old wild partying. I party like a freaking rock star now. I'm still that guy, but it just got tarnished, with the burden of living that lifestyle. And when you wake up every day and, my world wasn't a reality anymore. So, I'm living a different life. Being an undercover narcotics agent, it's just like TV, man, Miami Vice. So I was constantly in that different type, just like you see on TV, living that life, like that Miami Vice life, and then switching over to become to be a sniper, and then to switch back over and become a dad and a husband at the time. And what had really taken place was I lived in such chaos every day, all day long, that my world became chaos. And I was really good at living in a chaotic world. I mean, I became the master at my skill. I had a reputation as a sniper. I was good at my job. I was good as a narcotics agent. And I had that, even like an athlete, man, I was a very dedicated and disciplined person to what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be. And that kind of bit me in the ass in the long run, because I didn't know how to be normal anymore. I lost the reality on how to live a normal life, to come home and to have a conversation with even my friends. It became very disturbing, and it just got too much. and I wasn't trained. We in my era coming up in the industry, I wasn't trained. I wasn't given the tools to deal with that type of stuff. I basically came from an era where it was suck it up, man up, and let's put your freaking gear on and let's go get in a gunfight.
Right.
And after years of that, I just couldn't take it no more. And then what I loved so much that kept me happy was training and being a triathlete, and that my world revolved around being a triathlete and doing that type of stuff. And I got hurt at work one day, broke my back, and I went from all that to sitting on a couch with a broken back and multiple injuries. Within a short amount of time frame, and all I had to do was sit on a couch and dwell by myself. I'd recently gone through a divorce with Jen, and so I was by myself. I had a crappy girlfriend, and things just got out of control. I started putting down about a handle a day to a handle every 2 days, and
That'll do it.
yeah, and I just at that point I was like, man, I've got nothing left to serve for my country. I've got nothing left to offer to my family. And and as Raz knows, being in this industry, when you're that disturbed and struggling that bad, and that saying, he's lost his mind, that's a real thing. It really happens to people. It happens.
Oh, I see it all the time, and they get Baker acted, and 3 days later, after they've been sedated and given psych pills and everything, and you go in there, and I mean, I get anxiety at work because I'm kind of, I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'3", 250, so I'm kind of like the guy.
Damn.
I have to be damn, that's a big old man.
That's a big old boy.
But
It is.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I get anxiety because sometimes we have people that are, on K2, or I mean, they're just out of their mind. But even I, during the whole pandemic or whatever, I went and saw a mental health counselor because I just kind of felt overwhelmed. My girl was out of work because of the whole COVID stuff, and I was going to work thinking, am I gonna get this? Am I gonna die? I mean, and I'm trying to tell my girl, oh, everything's gonna be okay, but in my mind, I'm thinking, is it? I don't know. So
Yeah,
it's easy to do, and luckily I had that available through work. It helped a lot.
Yeah.
Just to tell somebody your story, and they don't have any preconceived notions of what you are or who you are. You just kind of can just rattle it off, and it takes a load off of you for sure.
Have we mentioned what Raz does for a living?
I am a male stripper.
Oh.
I was thinking you were down by the docks because I was just trying to put two and two together, and I'm like, what is he doing down there?
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
Grabbing some hands and helping them fellas
on their way.
Yeah, well, Doug, man, I'm stoked that you pulled through, bro, and you got help, and you're helping other people that are going through the same situation and feelings that you had during all that. And I'm just stoked that you pulled through, brother. It's
Thank you.
It's an awesome thing, man.
It is, man. You're helping a lot of people. That's awesome.
I'm trying.
Awesome.
I got an awesome team. I got an awesome wife. I really do. This is what I do all week. She does all the hard work, but we've got an amazing team, and I'm glad to be part of it.
Well, I'm glad you're a part of our show today. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to have you on.
I'm just glad I'm on somebody else's show and not on mine. It's kind of cool being a guest, man.
Right on.
Well, yeah.
Well, let
So
me
Doug-
change the subject. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about you becoming a police officer and your rookie days of being a rookie cop. And I just wanted to hear some stories, some funny stories about situations you had where, just tell us a little bit about it.
I can tell you a couple funny stories. So I know we've talked in the past, and I've told you another one, but here's a good one. So right when it was the beginning of my career, we got I was on the street crimes unit. So I'm still basic. They claim you as a rookie to about first 5 years, and where I worked at was about a year. So it was in the first year. And we get a call from a mom who said there's something wrong with her daughter, and she thinks her daughter's possessed. And I've always been a big fan of like freaking paranormal stuff. So my dumb ass was like, oh, I'm going there. And I didn't have to. That wasn't the type of police work I did. But I heard the call come out. So I go, I'm going to this call. And so I pull up in the, in the road in front of the house. And there's this girl standing in the middle of the front yard. And a big old girl at that, right? We're in the middle of the hood. And she's like talking to herself and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So I get out of the car and I start walking towards her. And I'm like, hey, girl, what's going on? You doing okay? And she reaches tampon and whips it at me. Like
tampon?
Right by my face.
Sorry, you were cutting out. She whips out a tampon on you?
Yeah, she pulls her tampon out and tomahawks it at me, right? And I was like, oh, no, you just did not do that to me,
No, you
right?
didn't.
So I go up to her. I'm ready to fight at this point because this chick just threw some nasty stuff at me. And so when I go up to her, she starts literally, I can't even mimic the voice that was coming out of her mouth. Like when I tell you that this chick was possessed by the devil, I believe it with all my heart. Wow. And so when I walked up to her, yeah, just like that. Whatever you just did, that was just. And she starts like talking in as something like in a weird language. The only thing I remember saying to me was that she was the bride of Saddam, and somewhere in there, I remember her saying that. Oh. And so I freak out. Like, how the hell do you deal with a possessed person, right?
The power of Christ compels you.
Well, I had
the power of Christ compels you.
It was right here, right? Just in case I needed it. So I didn't wear the typical cop thing. I wore a tack vest with my gun on my chest. So right next to my gun is my radio. So I hit the panic button. Cops have this little red button. If you push it on your radio, it opens the mic so you can just talk without squeezing the mic. And I literally start screaming at the mic like, I need help, man. I need help. Somebody help me. And they're all laughing probably, right, at the dispatch center and all the guys I'm working with.
This rookie dude.
Yeah, they're laughing like, because I'm like, hey, man, this chick's possessed, man. I need somebody to get here right now. I don't know what to do. So my partner comes pulling up, and he's a big old boy like Raz. And she starts talking to him. And we go to grab her, and she just like had the power of 10 men, threw my skinny little butt to the side. And she started talking in this language again and was saying, that she was talking like she was the devil. We really didn't know what to do. What do you do? We're supposed to beat her up. The chick's crazy. She starts like spitting and foaming at the mouth and the whole, exorcism thing. And so my partner says, what did you just say, the power of Christ or whatever?
Power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, he pulls
That's
his
from The
taser,
Exorcist.
shoots her with a taser, and boy, let me tell you, it lifted that demon right there. Put her butt on the ground, and then the ambulance showed up, and they freaking stuck a needle in her and dosed her and wrapped her up. We all doggy piled her, and they took her off to the hospital, and she was on going in the ambulance, man.
I have released the demon.
Yeah, that demon, man. I'll tell you, that was one of the craziest. I've been in gunfights, but that's pretty crazy when you're dealing with a demon, right?
So was she speaking? Was she speaking Haitian or something, or was she just?
No, she was.
It was just the total devil.
In tongues.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And what was crazy was her mom said that was it. And that had never happened before. She just woke up and that chick was talking like the devil, man.
Now that was your first. That was your first demon, right?
Yeah, that was my first demon. I think it was the first and only demon I dealt with.
I got kind of a story pretty close to it. We had this lady come up and she's in a stretcher, and me and my Haitian friend were like, pulling her over from the stretcher to the bed, and she's speaking this, and I'm like, I look at him, I go, what's she saying? Because he speaks Creole, and he looks at me, he goes, I think she's African. And I was like, oh, okay. So he didn't know what she was saying either. Well, come to find out, she wasn't speaking any language. It was just crazy language. So I can feel you on that.
Damn. So you just got initiated right into the police force after that situation, huh, Doug?
The whole career, that the whole career is like that. It's just always something, that part of being a cop is pretty cool. I wish I would have got to be a regular cop like that for a long time, but unfortunately I took a different path.
And I remember you telling me that when you came out here and visited me, you were talking about like, how you had become all the guys in the hood started knowing, hey, Monda, tell me about that, dude. You were like,
they still do, like Karen and I will be somewhere. Well, they call me Mondo. Nobody could ever get my name right. It was always Mondo. And then so when I first started, like in my first week, we got in a high-speed chase with some kids who stole a car and robbed something. And I got out of the car, and as y'all remember, man, I was lightning fast running. And this kid got out of the car and took off running, and I ran him down and caught him. And it was like the first time anybody ever seen me. I was this new kid, right? The new guy in the department. And then it just every day after that, I was always running people down, and I instantly became like one of the guys in the hood to this day, man. They still, they see me, they wave, they laugh if they see me cutting through town, or they're on the beach side. It was kind of cool.
Did you have the mullet locks, or you cut them off in the?
No, man. When I got I had that same hairdo I got right now. So when I was in the academy, all my hair came off, man.
Yeah, I was kidding.
Yeah.
We all had that crazy hair back in the day. Obviously, none of us have it now.
I had that soccer mullet, didn't I, back in high school?
Yeah,
we all had it. Remember, I had my little
with the comb over bangs and the mullet in the back.
Mom, don't cut the back now. Don't cut the back.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I never had one of those mullets.
Nah, you didn't have no mullet. You're a youngster.
In the north, man.
Yeah.
From the south, dude.
They had mullets. They had mullets in Virginia too.
Oh yeah, they got them. Yeah, I had a bowl cut and everything, man. I looked like
Nice.
I used to get a haircut like and then mullet.
That's the Dutch boy, dude. Dutch boy
that was,
mullet.
that was Marty and DJ had those hairdos.
Yeah, we all cut
mullet
each other's
is
hair
white.
back then.
The Hawaii mullet is shave the whole head and then have a little back, just
Flat.
like strip not that long. Throw it straight down. It's like it's a weird looking
A little
mullet.
mud flap.
Yeah,
We should
they-
do a-
They got them over there in Polk County too, probably.
We
Oh, I
should
got
do a
some
whole
mud
scene
flaps.
on mullets. We should do a whole section on mullets.
Yeah.
Mullets of the world.
Mullets of the world. That'd be awesome.
I'm on that right now.
Well, hell, man, I think we're gonna wrap it up, man. But I want to thank you, Doug, for coming on here. This is one of our first shows, so we're still kind of working the bugs out, and I know you're been in the field for a while, so I appreciate you coming on and helping us out.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's just an honor to see you guys and get to have a conversation with you. I apologize for not doing it more, but man, that's life, man. Life takes you in some crazy directions, but it's kind of cool when it all circles.
Yeah, when it all comes around. I hear you. We lost you for a second.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, even though I haven't seen Doug in a while, it's like I never, no time went by. Because
It's like we're getting a gallon of milk and headed down to Dunkin' Donuts for a dozen.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you. So I miss those days, man.
Yeah,
I truly,
yeah.
those were.
It was carefree days, man. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Living
I
for
tell
the
the
moment.
stories to my kids all the time. They just think, they look at their life now. My kids are spoiled, right? And so they, I tell them, man, I used to live off peanut butter and jelly and freaking a gallon of milk and all the other crap. We would scrounge up $3 just so we could get some milk and some donuts to eat to go surfing, man. And
We had plenty of money for a keg on Friday, though, didn't we?
We did. We did okay for a bunch of young boys back then, but it's crazy. Those moments, and I probably never told you this, but there's one particular moment I want to share with you before I take off.
Does it have anything to do with Raz and a jar of peanut butter?
It wasn't me.
He froze. He froze.
He froze there for a minute.
He's got some funny stories about me too, so we'll leave them alone. But those moments that you just take for granted in that era, many a times, man.
Man, the
And
internet.
people, you got me still?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
Those times.
Those moments, man, they pop back into your head, and you really realize what's important to you in life when somebody's whipping bullets by your face, right? And one particular moment, there was a time, and probably about 15 years,
you. Uh-oh.
and
it's-
you got me?
Yeah.
Got that
we got
you.
coconut wireless over there.
Yeah, I got some crappy service over here.
Boost Mobile,
Tim and I
yo.
went
Boost Mobile.
Boost. That's probably what we got over here is cricket or some kind of crap. Anyway, Tim and I went to Haleiwa Beach one night, and Tim broke out his ukulele and just started singing me this song and playing it. And the weather was perfect. It was Haleiwa. We're on the beach. We've been surfing all day. And to this moment, it is probably one of the moments in my life that I always reflect on. And I'd actually, I'm coming to see Tim this year. I told him, man, I really want plays in my head quite frequently. It was just a special moment for me, and I just hold it dear to my heart, man. I look forward to being there again.
Yeah, that was awesome times, Doug, man. I really had a great time when you came. We scored epic waves the whole time you were here. We had that rental van I think we had. We were stoked. I still cherish those
man.
moments
Yeah,
too,
good
man.
time.
That was
Yeah,
good
well, I
fun.
want you to know that, man. That's an important. People say, "Oh, my kid's birth is the." No, man, that shit was a nightmare, man. All that stuff. That's a special moment, man. So
I hear
thank you.
brother. I cherish it too, brother.
Well, we love you,
Right.
man.
Yeah, and I love you guys too, man. I really miss you guys, man. You have no idea. So
Well,
hopefully
we might
I
have-
get to see you soon.
Cool, brother.
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody for being on the coming and visiting our show today. Doug, thanks for coming on, man. You guys hit
Yeah,
that
man.
subscribe button, like it if you like it, and have a great evening. Doug, love you, brother.
Love you guys too. I'll see you soon, man. Let me know if there's anything.
Survive first. Survive first. Don't forget.
And do
Check
me
him
a
out.
favor, talk a little bit to our guests today about where they can find your podcasts and everything.
So you can find it on www.survivefirst.us, and then you can also find it at traumabehindthebadge.com. And that's our two websites, and you can get the links to the shows, and you can also find resources. If there's something you need that we can help you with, we'd be more than happy to.
Awesome, Doug.
Well, thanks a lot. It was fantastic talking to you. I'm a little jealous of these guys and all the love that was spread around.
Well, we
Maybe-
love you too, Brian.
Maybe one day you and
Group
I will
hug,
get a little
everybody.
love
Group
in there.
hug.
Yeah.
hug.
Brian,
All right,
cousin,
group
brother,
hug.
bud.
All right,
Right on.
so till next week, babies.
Right
It's
on.
All right.
It's another
Well.
fabulous Tuesday. Till next week, we'll see you again. Matt Costa
Sorry
Coast.
it's over, but we gotta go eat.